Yeah, this is the story, something about Chicago. Donald Trump in there. So we're gonna see what Donald Trump do to make Chicago, you know what I'm saying, a better place for people to live like civilized citizens once again, with all the violence going on. So it's just a brief talk about what's going on in Chicago with the Fox News people, and I just want y'all to check it out. Go ahead and listen.
Join the relief. In Chicago, they've had thousands of shootings, thousands, since January 1st. Thousands of shootings. And I'm saying, where is this? Is this a war-torn country? What are we doing? And we have to stop the violence. We have to bring back law and order.
Chicago leaders hitting back after then-candidate Donald Trump likened the city to a war zone on the campaign trail. Workers now removing 2 honorary Trump Plaza street signs after the city council voted to ditch the signs over the president-elect's remarks. A 3rd sign was stolen in October. The official who led the effort saying, quote, when he gets up there on the national stage and trashes Chicago, basically telling folks not to visit this great city, he's actually making it harder for us to solve our public safety problems by investing in more cops because we need more revenue. That's why he's losing his honorary street sign. This comes as Chicago has seen more than 700 murders this year, and that number continues to grow. Meantime, Trump supporters in Chicago are calling the effort to remove the signs a waste of lawmakers' time. I take this very personally for many reasons, but what we are seeing in Chicago, Judge, if it weren't an election year, should be the #1 story across all newspapers or across the planet. It is so bad.
Well, it has been the #1 story if people would pay attention to it. I lived in Chicago for 3 years when I had I had a court show. But look, so far this year there have been 3,289 shooting incidents in Chicago, and that is just so far this year. And for that person to blame Donald Trump if there is a reduction in the number of people coming to Chicago is all about the doublespeak that is going on in this country. What we need in this country and what they need in Chicago is someone who is a police chief who is focused on law enforcement, prosecution, sting operations, and making sure that they get confidential informants, undercover, go in there, indict, don't plea bargain, arrest, and start putting these people in jail. You try to get statistics from Chicago, and this is my wheelhouse, and I've done it, and it infuriates me. You try to get statistics, they don't want to give you any statistics. Here is what is going on there. There is the south side of Chicago, and for some reason, law enforcement there is not as focused as they are on Michigan Avenue, where I lived, where there's virtually no crime. And Donald Trump is going to make it better because he believes in law enforcement.
Yeah, let's not pretend like we don't know what the reason is, right?
And you know what? To blame him for the fact that people are afraid, they should be afraid. And let me add another thing as a Second Amendment person. In the city of Chicago, you can't have a gun. And so then everybody says, well, the only reason more people are dying here is because they're bringing them in from other places. Really?
That's not true.
Not having a gun and outlawing guns is irrelevant.
I'm for the Second Amendment. I'm a CCW holder. I believe that every state should be equal as far as carrying weapons, especially CCWs. But, you know, Chicago is an interesting city. I love Chicago as a city, but it's run by Democrats. And it's been run by Democrats for a very long time, and they have done absolutely nothing for the city. Actually, the city has been going downhill ever since they've been running it. So everybody out there, vote Republican to run your city.
But I mean, as a Chicagoan, I grew up there. I have so many friends still back there. People I talked to were so happy to hear him even shine a light on this issue while on the campaign trail, because it does feel like it's being ignored by the current administration.
Look, I know I'm going to get some grief for saying this, but as you were talking, Judge, it popped into my head, and I said, let's not pretend like we don't know why they get different treatment on the South Side than they do on Michigan Avenue. There is power in keeping certain people down. There is some there must be something wrapped up in those politics in Chicago that allows that to happen. I'm just going to put it out there.
You know what,
we can go there, hit the ground, and start asking questions.
Let's talk about it. And so then the question needs to be asked. Let's peel that layer off the onion. Let's start talking about why. Are there enough police there? You know, are there enough patrols there?
Excellent question.
Children are being shot on playgrounds in Chicago. They don't even respond to the sound or the report report of a gun when they hear it.
That's right.
Make that issue the issue. Let's find out why.
Where is Rahm Emanuel? I mean,
That's
the
the point
man
I
in the
was
White
getting
House
at.
right now, this is his former home city.
It's the man that helped President Obama get elected. He's been the mayor of Chicago,
He
and
was
again,
he was in the White House with him.
he's his bestie. I mean, and again, the idea that President Obama's fingerprints aren't all over this as well, and there's not some culpability in this is just wrong. The Trump sign thing in particular, I find so short-sighted. People just want to continue to vilify him on the left and make him this ugly figure. People have got to come to terms with the fact this is our president right now, and there has to be more respect right now than what people are giving him.
Better use of
Changing
your
the
time.
economics of
Better use
those
of your time.
areas will make a huge difference. I hear you talk about this about your old home all the time. Changing the economics in those areas.
When was the last time President Obama actually went to Chicago and actually talked in Chicago? I really don't remember the last time he was there.
I'd have to brain room.
Still raising a lot of money there.
Exactly.
Hello.
All right. Some of Hollywood's biggest names are still.
Yeah, you heard it. When was the last time President Obama been there? But leave your comments at the bottom and tell me what you think about it. And by the way, look up the worst 10 cities in the United States to live in and give me your comments on that and who they ran by. And thanks for listening.